Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Tonight, I'm sharing a terrifying, true encounter from the lonely Arizona desert. The sun was setting over Route 66 when I finally saw the neon sign flickering in the distance. Exhausted from the drive, I checked into room 109, unaware of the horror that awaited me inside. The room was a relic of the 50s, smelling of mothballs and stale air. I adjusted my hijab and set my bags down, feeling a heavy weight of unease settle in my chest. As I prepared for my evening prayers, the absolute silence of the desert was broken by a strange, low sound. It was muffled, coming from somewhere deep within the structure. It was a rhythmic thumping. Thump, 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 thump. I thought perhaps it was a generator or the plumbing, but the sound was too organic, too deliberate for a machine. I sat on the edge of the bed, placing my hand over my own chest to check my pulse. My heart was racing from fear, but it didn't match the rhythm of the room. The thumping continued, growing louder every minute. I stood up and walked toward the wall shared with room 110, thinking there might be someone next door in distress. I knocked on the wall and asked if anyone was there. No answer, just that persistent, rhythmic beat. I realized the motel office told me I was the only guest tonight. The realization sent a shiver down my spine. I pressed my ear against the peeling floral wallpaper, and the sound was so clear it felt like it was inside my head. Then I felt it. The wall wasn't just making noise, it was vibrating. A slow, steady expansion and contraction, like the wall itself was breathing in the dark. I jumped back in horror. The lamp on the bedside table flickered and died, leaving me in the pale, sickly light of the moon filtering through the grime-covered windows. I reached for my phone to call for help, but there was no signal. The heartbeat grew faster now, responding to my own panic, echoing through the floorboards beneath my feet. I grabbed my coat and ran for the door, but the handle wouldn't budge. It felt as though the very frame of the room had shifted, sealing me inside this wooden ribcage. I looked back at the wall. The wallpaper began to tear, and I saw a glimpse of something wet and dark beneath the plaster. It wasn't wood or stone, it looked like flesh. The thumping was now a deafening roar. It wasn't my heart, it was the house. The entire motel was a living, breathing entity, and I was trapped inside its belly. I began to recite Ayatul Kursi, seeking protection from whatever malevolent force had manifested here. The pulsing slowed for a moment, the room groaning in protest. With one final, desperate kick, the door flew open. I didn't look back. I ran to my car and drove until the sun rose, never stopping for anything until I saw the city. Weeks later, I looked up the motel's history. It had been closed for 20 years. There was no room 109 left standing, only a foundation and a local legend of the Heartbeat Motel. Sometimes at night, when everything is quiet, I still hear that rhythm. It reminds me that some places on this earth are not meant for the living. Stay safe out there.